Hi guys, Steve Capozzi in Thailand. Just a quick how-to guide to prepare a quick raised garden bed here. I've got these tyre pots which I've talked about before. I've got quite a few over there, there's 4 over there. Got one more over here. They're made out of old tyres. They've got some sort of a big machine that cuts up the tyre. I've got no idea how it's done, but I'll find out one day. And it's hollow in the middle here, so that's the tyre part there. What I've done, I put the tyre pot down. I put these rocks, these blue metal rocks, just a layer down the bottom to suppress weeds, and it might help drainage as well. Now, as far as suppressing weeds is concerned, it's done a good job. It's only a thin layer. Some weeds do pop up. There's a very hardy weed that does pop through, but only a few which you can pull out. So apart from that weed which does come through, it's a very good way to suppress weeds, just a thin layer of blue metal rock. You can check out these concrete pots, blue metal. There's been a few weeds I've had to pull out. I'll quickly come over here and show you these two. Okay, I may have pulled out a couple from here, but you can see how clean these pots are. That's just a thin layer of blue metal rock, okay? Like that, and it does a great job to suppress weeds. All I'm going to do now is chuck these leaves in like that. I've got all these leaves I've trimmed off a tree. I've torn these off the branch. Now some small twigs might be okay, but the big bits of wood like that don't put in. So just trim the leaves off the best you can, and you just want to put in various layers of material. I've shown previous videos of me doing this, but here's a quick one here. I'm just going to chuck in now a layer, a whole heap of a mushroom compost I've got here. Alright, so there's the pot. Get the mushroom compost. Alright, here we are guys. I'll put the whole lot there. Bang. That's a layer of mushroom compost. There's a grub, chuck that out. There's a snail, chuck that out. Okay guys, I've come back with a whole heap of freshly cut grass. Big grass stalks that I've just cut off the top. The grass is still there, it's going to keep growing. Next time I can just cut it again. So let's put down a layer of these grass stalks. Should be cut up into as small as pieces as possible. Put the whole stack down there, like so. Alright, just like that. Nice layer of green grass. There was a layer of leaves, mushroom compost, layer of green grass. I've got a whole heap of chicken manure. Wasn't a whole heap really, but there's enough for now just to lay on top of the grass. Break it up the best I can. It'll break down eventually into smaller pieces and so forth. It'll get wet. That's okay. What I'm going to do now is grab a whole heap of compost I've been preparing. If you've been watching previous videos, I've got this concrete pot that I've been filling up with kitchen scraps. It's all kitchen scraps, about half full. I just put a layer of grass on top just now, and it's pretty yucky stuff, but nice stuff. I'm just going to try and grab, oh look at that stuff there, beautiful. Just dig down and grab some of this stuff. Oh, it's hot too. Woo! Look at this stuff here, all kitchen scraps as well as mushroom compost I put in. Let's steal some. All right, and I'll just make that level, put the grass back on top, and I'll just keep filling that up as a compost heap with all kitchen scraps. So let's take our bucket back. Compost I stole from the concrete pipe. Let's throw it all on top, like so. There's a millipede there. Spread that out. Perfect. Alright guys, what I'm going to do now is leave this for a few weeks. I'm in no hurry. Let the leaves, the green grass break down, the compost break down more. Alright guys, what I've decided to do was just put another layer of mushroom compost and chicken manure. Just got a mixture of those two items in the bucket. Let's pour some on. Let's break up the clumps. Spread that out. It's, by the way, 11 days later. Right now, the previous videos you saw, I said I'll leave it for a couple of weeks. It's 11 days later. And I should have checked the grass and so forth. It's all breaking down nicely. You can still see the grass there, but it's breaking down. The leaves down the bottom, nicely breaking down still. And you know, things don't have to be broken down fully. Leaves, grass, all that sort of stuff. It's mainly to put organic material into your soil. That's why you do it. That's why you make compost heaps with grass, leaves and so forth. You want organic matter in your soil. That's one key thing about having good soil, is to have a high organic matter content. Now that pot is full enough. I'm going to put one final layer of soil on top and it's ready. Okay, this is the last step in prepping my tyre pot. You may have seen previous videos where I've talked about soil, and it's actually hard to come by good soil in Thailand. For some reason they don't sell those big bags of potting mix or compost, those big 25 litre bags like you can buy, like I used to buy in Sydney, at Bunnings, garden stores, Flower Power and so forth. In Thailand they've got these small bags. You get these sorts of bags, and there's different types. Some are leaves, some are different plants, some are bamboo and so forth. Like there's a picture of bamboo here, and there was 5 different types of these bags. The last I bought 10 bags, 5 different types, 2 of each. And whenever I make soil to put out into the garden beds, the tyre pots, the concrete pots, wherever, I always mix up at least 2 different bags. And I did the same back in Sydney. You can buy expensive soil, you can buy cheap soil. I used to always buy a mixture of, say, cheaper, so Coles, for example, Coles would sell potting mix, but it was cheap stuff. It was okay, it was good, it was cheap, but it was, you know, cheap quality as well, cheap price. I used to buy better bags from Bunnings or Flower Power or some garden shop and do a mixture, mix up things. And I'm doing the same here. I happen to have 2 open bags of 2 different types of soil. I'm going to chuck both half bags into the bucket. And I'm just going to mix it up really well. And as I said, I used to do the same thing back in Sydney. Just mix up different products, different types of bags, different types of soil, and you might get the best of both worlds. Okay, I've given this soil a good mix. 2 different types of soil. Okay, back to the tyre pot. I'm going to break up those clumps of mushroom compost and chicken manure the best I can. And let's put the soil on top. This is one final layer of nice soil to plant my seeds in. Just a nice layer on top. Break up some clumps. And that's it. I've got some spare soil. That tyre pot's ready. Up to the brim, a final layer, just a thin layer of nice soil to plant my seeds in. So I've got layers of leaves, green grass, mushroom compost, chicken manure, compost from my concrete pot, and a final layer, some more mushroom compost and chicken manure, and a final layer of nice soil on top. And that's all going to break down. I can now plant my seeds into this soil and we'll see what we can grow. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you for the next one.